Hi everyone, I'm MaryAnn. I'm a visual artist and voice coach here in Singapore, and welcome to day 16 of my 100-day blog project. So this is a daily blog where I put up a video every single day sharing what I've learned about the creative process, about the artist journey, about pursuing your dreams, following your passion, being yourself, discovering who you really are, and how to live the life that you've always dreamed of and the life you've envisioned for yourself. So if you have questions about or any of these things, feel free to ask them in the comments, or you can directly message me through any of my social media links that are in the write-up attached to these videos. So today's day 16 and it's also the 1st of October, and that means that there's officially only 3 more months until the end of the year. And I think this is a great time to start taking stock of what the year has been like for you so far, and what else do you need to handle, how else do you need to live such that you fulfill the dreams and the goals and the objectives that you have had for this year. So I guess this is a time where we can look at our New Year resolutions once again, because it's never too late to get started on them, right? First of all, and second of all, when it comes to resolutions, I think one issue that people have when we set New Year's resolutions is that we tend to envision, like, at the start of the year, right? Energy is high, we're going into a new year, it's like a reset of things, and it is very normal to feel like we must set some huge kind of goals to achieve, and it's very easy to want to hit the ground running, but then we don't realize that we've got a whole year ahead, and it's like you're playing a long game basically. It's like yesterday when I shared about me running 5 kilometers, it's like a long distance, and if you suddenly if you're running 5 kilometers and you sprinted in the first minute, you're going to be out of breath, you're going to be tired, and you're not going to be able to actually push through to get to that 5 kilometer mark. So it's the same thing for the whole year. If we start the year running too fast, and trying to do too much, especially when it comes to your goals and your resolutions, it's very easy to get tired and to get burned out by the end of the first week or even the end of the first, if you're lucky, you can maybe sustain it for a month before we actually start to either get complacent, or we get tired, or we get bored, and we end up not continuing our resolution as a result. So what I'm saying is, we want to start with something simple. And so right now, you have 3 months left to the end of the year. Now is a great time to start, working on whatever that resolution or that goal is once again, to make sure you hit it by the end of the year. So I guess coming back to my exercise habit, because this is a habit that I never had before in my entire life. In the past, it never worked for me because I always tried to do too much. Like, I would decide that I would do, different workout every single day, that would take at least 20 or 30 minutes of my time. And for the first week, I would be very, good at keeping up with it. And then by the end of the week, maybe my muscles are sore because these are, intense workouts that my physically unfit body is not used to, and that results in me, by the time the second week comes around, maybe I will do 3 out of 5 days, and then by the third week it's 2 out of 5 days, and then eventually I either get bored, or I get complacent, or I get tired because I don't really see any results, because physical body changes takes time for you to see results, right? Not immediate. And and then I give up. So this year, what I started doing was, I started running first, and I started with a very simple goal of just running twice a week and only running 2.5 kilometers, and that was all I needed to do. 2.5 kilometers twice a week, and I would time myself, but I didn't exactly set a goal that I must beat a certain time either, and that was all I did. And that was all I did for maybe about 3 months of the year, just twice a week run 2.5 kilometers. And then once I got used to that, I started to add in other things. So I would add another day of exercise in, which is all about strengthening. And even with that, I started very simple, 5 push-ups, something very manageable, something really easy to do. And within 10 minutes, maybe even within 5 minutes, I could complete it. So in the beginning, because it's not a habit that I had yet, I needed to build the consistency first. I needed to get used to actually doing, to actually planning time for exercise and to do them. And then over time I would just add on to it. Like my strengthening workouts would become longer. Like right now they are maybe about 15 to 20 minutes depending on the workout I decide to do. Usually it's still the same thing, but sometimes I'll try something new because I get bored. But I would know that time is meant for that workout, or like twice a week I would look at my schedule ahead of time, and I would decide which are the 2 days that I'm gonna go and run 5 kilometers. So things like that, and I started to I right now I exercise maybe 4 to 5 days a week, and I've been doing this consistently now. 4 to 5 days a week of exercise, maybe for the last 4 or 5 months or so. Yeah, so in anything that you do, okay, whether it's a creative project, whether it's to, build a new habit in whichever area you want, start simple, start small, start with something that you can manage, and it will take an adjustment period for you to get used to this new way of doing things, or this new way of living. So coming back to a creative project, for example, if you're an artist and you want to do a painting, or if you want to get into a creative habit of painting more consistently, but you are not used to it yet, start with something that is like once a week. Like fix a day of the week and fix like 2 hours, for example. And for those 2 hours, all you're gonna do is paint. And nothing else can touch those 2 hours. Or if something does come up on that day, then you have to make it up another day. And hold that time as something sacred, as something important for this resolution, or this goal, or this objective that you need to accomplish because it's important to you. Another way to do it is the daily consistent habit thing. For this one, I would say start small. So if you're a painter, well, it might be impossible to paint something in just 10 minutes, but if you're just in the process of getting into that habit of showing up at the studio, maybe it's just 10 minutes of sketching every single day, and then your 2 hour once a week of painting. But at least you have that 10 minutes habit where you start getting used to going into the studio to work. Or taking your sketchbook and your pencil out and doing something, and then keep that sketchbook and pencil where it is easy for you to reach it, and you can do it anytime. 10 minutes, knock it out and get it done. If you're a writer, one way to do it is to have a daily quota of words that you need to write, where you can write about anything. If you're working towards writing a book, then of course you write your book, like a certain number of words per day. Yeah, like start simple, start small, and keep it consistent. So the key thing is to make it something that is easy enough for you to do on a regular basis, whether it's weekly or daily. And then when you get used to it, then you add on to it. Like you don't want to add on to it too early. Wait until you have a consistent track record of maybe like a month that you have done this thing consistently. Then you might want to start considering adding more hours, or adding more words to your writing, or adding more exercises to your exercise routine. So if you like this video today, subscribe to my channel, or like my Facebook page wherever you're watching this on, and remember to ask your questions in the comments, or directly message me through my social media links, and I'll see you tomorrow.